Hello everyone, welcome to another ODNT Spotlight. I'm Steve DeWinter, your host, and I have with us a very fun and inventive author. Her name is Laura Woodswalker, and she is here. She has brought with her today Tesla's Signal. And I sat down and I read the first chapter of this book, and it just sucked me in immediately. This is moved up on my list of books I need to read and need to read soon. Because by the end of the first chapter, which you can go to Amazon and you can take a look at the preview, and the preview goes beyond chapter 1. I have had time to read just chapter 1, and I'm like, I got to stop reading because I got to get over and finish up everything for this interview. So this Tesla Signal is definitely my kind of book. So let's go ahead and switch on over and let's meet the author. Hello, Laura. Welcome to ODNT Spotlight.
Hi, Steve. Thanks for having me. This is a really awesome thing that you're doing.
Oh, of course. And it's great that you're here and you brought Tesla Signal. And I tell you, I really enjoyed the first chapter. I'm just like, whoa! It was not what I was expecting, and it was so much better, and it was great. So tell us a little bit about the book, Tesla's Signal.
Okay. You've already got the Tesla's Signal is a classic style science fiction novel about the greatest inventor ever forgotten.
Yeah.
Is responsible for the alternating current electrical system, which the world has used for the last 100 years.
Wow.
And he's also responsible for radio, although it was pirated by other people, and he's responsible for many researches in remote control, wireless energy, etc. And Tesla was also a spiritual person who was very interested in the possibility of communicating with other planets. And that's kind of what inspired my novel. And in my novel, Tesla does meet with an advanced race of energy beings who are guides and who are interested in helping other life forms. But he also meets with a race of aliens who are not so benevolent. They find out his abilities. They get hold of him and want him to help them with their nefarious plans.
Oh, no.
And then he has to escape, and he and his associate, Miss Clara, have to go on the run from both the aliens and from the Earth authorities, who are under alien control.
Oh, and no.
Tesla is labeled public enemy number 1. And they go into hiding where they can build their advanced energy devices so that they can fight the aliens and save the planet. So it's kind of a unashamedly cliche type of a scenario. We've got these alien ships which are, they're pretty much what you would expect from some kind of a War of the Worlds story.
Right.
And I felt that was the only way I could write this because it's set in 1905, and it is the character Hugo Gernsback. He's actually a character in the book. He is actually the father of science fiction, and he was a friend of Nikola Tesla.
Oh, nice.
So, it's basically the point of the story is not, it's an alien invasion. But the whole point was that I wanted to write fiction about Tesla using the actual historical underpinnings. And I wanted to kind of teach people something about Tesla. And I gave the book to a friend of mine, and she let her son read it. And she said, he read it, and now he's a Tesla fan. Because that was kind of what I was trying to accomplish.
Excellent. So when you wrote this, you researched the historical time period and a lot of the science around it. How accurate, even though you wrote a fiction novel, how accurate did you stay to the world that Tesla had around him?
Yeah. Well, first I had to do a lot of scientific research, and I must admit that I'm not a scientist at all. Although in the past few years I have done some simple electronics with LED lights and soldering and so forth. So I basically studied everything that I could. YouTube videos of how alternating current works and so forth. So the first few chapters are basically follow the historical timeline of what happened. That Tesla had a unfortunate period of working for Edison.
That was his undoing, practically.
He went out on his own. A lot of people, they've heard of Tesla, and all they know is he was a rival of Edison. But anyways, yes, he had to promote his alternating current idea, and he did so by staging these tremendous electrical shows where he would throw these tremendous bolts of lightning across the room, and he would take huge amounts of current into himself. Here's one of my plasma lights.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if you can even...
Right there, yeah.
Yeah. I kind of needed to have all of the historical detail in the first few chapters, and some of the readers thought that was slow, and I said, well, I really had to do that so that people would understand who is Tesla, why am I portraying him as an electric Superman.
Right, why did he get this awesome story?
Right, so let's see, the parts of it that are true. He was an electrical genius. He was far ahead of everybody else. He was working on wireless energy. He apparently did have a plan to give everybody free energy, or at least that's a legend about him. He did build a tremendous tower in Long Island called Wardenclyffe Tower, where it was supposed to be a big energy transmitter. There's a couple of places where I diverge from history as to what happens to the tower and the date that certain things happen. And I did provide a historical note in the back and the front telling readers, well, this is a work of fiction. It's based on history, but there's some points where I use a little bit of creative license.
Right, so before you slam me on its historical and scientific accuracy, remember what section you bought it in the bookstore. Fiction!
Now let's see, I did write down some notes. There's a lot of legendary, okay, a few of the gizmos which Tesla was said to have built.
Ah.
The flying saucer.
Oh, that was one of his?
Well, according to some of the legends, there's a lot about Tesla with varying amounts of proof and varying amounts of who believes it and who says that it's fake.
Right.
They say that he built an electric car, which could go 80 miles an hour with a teeny little motor, alternating current motor inside.
Oh, nice.
They say that he built a flying saucer, and the biggest thing is the Teleforce ray gun, or the death ray. You know, people are still looking for the death ray, the plans for the death ray. But in my book, he did build all of these devices, and he used them in his struggle.
Well, yeah, we have an alien invasion. He better use this stuff.
Now let's see if I can show you my death ray.
Oh, look at that.
This is the Teleforce ray gun, otherwise known as something which I built and took to a steampunk convention.
Oh, nice. That must have made you real popular.
Well, the other people could build a lot better things than this.
Now, that looks great. And so that had a feature. So that's one of the things that he's legendary for, the legends of he built this death ray.
Right.
And so that has a key point in your story. That's great that you built it. I don't think I've built anything from the stories I've written.
Okay, now let's see. As far as the history goes, as I mentioned, the first few chapters are based on history. Tesla was a hit with the ladies. He was gorgeously dressed. He was like a superstar. The newspapers called him the new Prometheus and the new Thor. He was like a real-life wizard.
There we go, new Prometheus. I suddenly remembered I had all these pictures to click open.
Very good. Everybody loves the stories about Gandalf and other wizards like this. And here, Tesla was like the real-life version. He was the character how could I not write about a character like this? Seriously,
Exactly.
just grabbed me. So to go on with the true part, Tesla also had a few peculiarities. He loved pigeons, of course. He was afraid to shake hands. He had a phobia of being touched. He was very afraid of germs, and he was obsessed with the number 3. And all of these characteristics found a place in my book. Tesla had to overcome all these fears, and he had to transcend his weaknesses. So he underwent this character development. Yeah, the little snippets on the corner are.
So I'm doing little pictures here.
My little excerpts that I use for promotion, but they're kind of based on the book. And I was trying to do a video, and I haven't quite achieved that yet. And let me see. I think I had a question called Fantastic Elements. The fantastic elements of my story. Well, one of the reviewers said the author appears to have took the most far out conspiracy theories about Tesla and decided to run with it. So that's kind of what I did. Let's see, the certain elements that I've used in this book include anti-gravity, dimensional travel, advanced alien technology, and the usual mind control, telepathy, and parallel universes. So, yeah. What was your next question?
So, well, that was a great one. So this genre that you've got is, you've got a science fiction, you have some steampunk elements in there because of the time period it's in. It's an alternate history, alien invasion story. Some of the pictures we have here is right now the picture is the earthquake machine. Is he believed to have built an earthquake machine?
Yeah, that's one of the stories about him. Now, actually, that's a historical fact, is that he attached a small oscillator to a girder, and it started oscillating in resonance with the building, and it did actually create an earthquake, and the police came to the door, and they're like, "What are you doing in there?" And,
whatever it is, stop it.
He realized that his machine was going nuts, and he had to smash it with a hammer. And the police came in, and he's like, "Gentlemen, you just missed one of my experiments. Come back later, and I'll show you another one." There was lots of great stuff I was able to use, sort of a entertaining way.
Exactly, just another one of his experiments gone awry.
Right, exactly.
There's the picture right there.
Mm-hmm. And as when you mentioned steampunk, steampunk was actually synergistic with this novel, because as I was writing the first draft, I went to my first steampunk festival, and I said, well, why don't I build some of the gizmos that my characters used?
Right.
So I have a character whose name is Miss Clara. She's like the female lead.
Oh, excellent.
She is a refugee from Russia who also has electrical talents, and her big dream in life was to work with Tesla, and she does end up working with him. And what she likes to do is make gizmos that are disguised as jewelry. This is, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I have not figured out this camera.
I like that. And the clockwork with the copper wire.
I was very interested in pocket watches, so I gave her that persona also. Here's another. Did I show you this one yet?
No, not yet. Oh, wow, look at that.
What you would call somewhat fanciful steampunkish ideas of a gizmo, which Tesla or Clara might have used. They were on the run, so they couldn't carry an entire laboratory full of equipment.
They had portable stuff.
Stuff which they could carry around, and they had to power it via a secret transmitter which Tesla had. So
for the wireless power, excellent.
Wireless transmitter. I think I covered that.
Yes, yes.
What did we not cover?
So the last thing we have is doing the challenge of a historical setting for a novel, but having aliens and spaceships. It's something that, War of the Worlds, when it came out, it was contemporary. It really wasn't going back in time like you did with this one. So did you have any challenges of throwing in aliens and spaceships?
Well, the big challenge is, and this goes along with the genre. Okay, trying to get my hat straight. Okay, first of all, they always want you to click a subgenre when you're trying to sign up with a promotional site.
Right.
Is this steampunk? Is this alien invasion? Is this alternate history? Well, it's kind of all three of them, but it's not really alternate history. It's more of what I might call hidden history.
Oh, nice.
All
a
of
whole
this
new genre.
Oh, I don't know if that was a spoiler, by the way.
Nope, not at all.
It is not an alternate history line. At the end, you have to put everything back the way it was.
Oh. Hence the mind control here. Here he is, there he is. Hence his capability for remote control mind.
So, yeah, the problem is if I ever try to sell this to a publisher, they like everything to fit into their little categories.
That they do. This one is so far-reaching.
I'm sure that I'm going to get an editor who says, "Oh, I love it, but I don't know what to do with it." So I think that
we have covered everything that I had listed here for it and everything. So before we shut down the interview and close it down and call it a day, is there anything else you would like people who are watching this video or potential readers and everything to know?
Let's see. Well, there's something which I call meta plot, and I didn't have this in my notes, but you have your plot. The character escapes from the bad guys, blah, blah, blah. But the meta plot is what do you want your readers to feel? In what way do you want to affect your audience? And I kind of wanted to do a little bit more than just tell a story. I wanted, how do I describe? I wanted people to experience the character of Tesla as more than just a whiz-bang wizard. I wanted to get into his soul, and there are people who kind of think that Tesla was a saint or what they call a star seed, a messenger from advanced aliens. And that whole line of thought is kind of what I call, it's just cosmic or transcendent. It's I've always been interested in transcendent types of beings in the galaxy. Not beings who want to destroy the Earth, but beings who want to guide sentient life. Right. That's kind of my main interest in science fiction. So all of the science fiction that I ever wrote or am going to write, I want to express my sense of awe at the universe.
Yes, awe and hope.
And yeah, I want it to be positive. I don't want to write horror, and a lot of science fiction right now seems to be based on things that are horrifying. I'm more interested in wonder stories rather than horror stories.
Right, going back to the classical, you mentioned that it's classical science fiction where, in the 40s, 50s, and 60s when they were writing it, it was all about a bright future, an exciting future. Right. Not a dystopian, everything's crumbling apart future.
Right. Books that you don't want to read before going to sleep because they're so awful and depressing.
Give you nightmares.
So I'm actually am working on another novel about Tesla.
Oh, excellent. And
of course, I'm the person who's always complaining about sequels because a lot of times you have all these sequels and the first book never really ends. The second one goes on, the third one, and by that time you sort of lost interest. This book, Tesla Signal, does have a very definite ending, but nevertheless, being as I knew there were several more decades in Tesla's life,
there's more adventures to be had.
There's a lot more stuff going on, so I'm working on the first draft, and it's tentatively called Tesla's Wavelength.
Oh, neat.
And it's probably even more way out than this one. So, so I'm going to be going back and working on that.
Excellent, excellent. Well, hey, thank you very much, Laura, for agreeing to come on our show. Oh, we seem to have frozen a little bit here. Oh, no. Well, while we're waiting to see if the connection will reconnect, it seems to be disappearing. But also, for those of you who are watching this, if you're watching this embedded on a website, just click on the button over there that says Watch on YouTube, and then you can see the full description down below. I have the link to Laura's books on Amazon. So right now, Tesla Signal is the first one. When her next one comes out, that same link will show you all the books that she has. Also, if you want to connect with Laura, I have her website, I have her Facebook, her Twitter, her Goodreads, and her Pinterest. And also, by all means, I highly, highly recommend, let's go ahead and switch back on over to this one. Oh, she's calling back. She's calling back. There we go.
Hi.
Hello. All right. So what you missed while you had dropped off and disappeared there was I let everyone know I have all your links below for your website, your Facebook, Twitter, Goodreads, Pinterest, and also the links to your books on Amazon.
All right. Thank you.
So we took advantage of that break in time.
Yeah, my computer froze up. I'm using a
Exactly.
tablet and it froze up. And
Yeah,
that's never
technology. Boy, if only Tesla had been able to build everything, then everything would be working great.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and switch on over, and we'll shut down the interview. So don't hang up just a second, Laura. I'll chat with you for a couple more minutes, but thank you very much for coming on our show.
Well, thank you very much. This is really awesome of you to be doing this.
Of course. All right, and I'll be right back to see you. So again, I highly, highly suggest you check out Tesla Signal. I read the first chapter on it, and Laura mentioned that she wanted to do more than just tell a story and a plot, but she also mentioned a thing that she called meta plot, where she wanted to have the reader feel what was like for Tesla and the characters. And I can guarantee you, if the rest of the book is just like chapter 1, she did that. I was in it. I won't spoil too much because you can go and check this out on Amazon. When she introduces Clara as a young girl and they're hiding in the basement and she's got her pocket watch there, and I'm just like, I'm holding my breath reading it so that I don't give away that they're hiding down in the basement from something bad that's happening around them. You'll definitely have to check it out to see that. So as far as Laura achieving her goals of making the readers feel and experience, mission accomplished. Here's her accomplishment award for that. So thank you very much for that, Laura. So once again, Tesla Signal from Laura Woodswalker. It was great to have her on the show today. This is definitely a story that's high on my list to check out. Again, I am Steve DeWinter, your host here for ODNT Spotlight. Join the ODN team and subscribe to this channel. We have many more authors, artists, musicians, actors, all sorts of people. Anybody who will come on my show, I'll have them on my show. So thank you very much. Have yourself a great day. Ciao.